Hello everybody, I'm April here in Driver Recruiting, and I have a very special guest with me today. This is Jeff, and he is a DBL here at Schneider, and he drove for 25 years in total, and the last 5.5 were here at Schneider.
Yes.
So what we're going to do today is we are going to ask him lots of questions about DBL life, a lot of questions that I get as a recruiter that I kind of pass off to you guys. So we're hopefully going to get a lot more insight on what you do, what your relationship is like with those drivers. So definitely want to promote right off the bat, we are live. So definitely add those comments and questions. We'd love to hear from you. I have the computer right in front of me here, so message us and we will definitely be able to answer some of your questions today as well.
It'll be fun.
So first of all, have a list of some prepared questions for you. So just wanted to start out with is what are the best qualities that you look for in that you see in a driver that really helps them to succeed in that driving role?
I would say a good work ethic, really wanting to put the hours in. The more time you give yourself in that day, we expect you to run about 8.5 hours a day, but we want you to do it in that 12 to 14 hour period. Okay. So if you maximize that 8.5 hours every day, you're going to make the best amount of money on your tour.
Okay, sounds good. Next one that I have here is what is the most common questions that you get asked from your drivers? What are those questions that you feel you're answering on a regular basis?
ETAs, how to trip plan. Can you help me figure out when I'm going to make it to the shipper so I can maximize my miles? I trip plan with my drivers a lot, or what's the best route to take to a customer? Okay. Especially with the new guy, they don't have a lot of experience on how to get there. If it's an experienced driver, it's more of working with the new technology. Okay. It's like, I know how to drive, I know how to get there, I know how to plan, but your system's a little different than the last company I've been with. Sure. So how do I work in your new system? Okay,
sounds good. Since this is live, I'm going to say right now we're having technical difficulties. I just got signed out of my computer, so I'm going to have someone that's helping tape quick get us signed back in so we can read those questions. But in the meantime, also wanted to ask, so how do you determine where a driver's park location is? If you have a driver coming to you, how do you guys determine, because we get asked that a lot as recruiters, well, where am I parking that truck?
Okay. We have 24 divisions across the United States in the over-the-road segment, and then there's a lot of dedicated segments. It all depends on what you get hired in. So it's usually if you're within 50 miles of an OC, you're going to park at that OC. If you're working, say, from like a Dollar General, and that's where your truck's going to be, that's going to be your park location if you're on a dedicated account.
Okay. And then kind of going off of that, with your drivers, are you working with mainly experienced drivers? Is it inexperienced drivers? What kind of experience level are you working with most of your drivers?
I have all the way from 24 years experience, a driver that just got his 10-year consecutive safe driver on the safety banquet Saturday night, all the way to a driver that's been with me since last Saturday.
Okay.
Average DBL, I would say, runs about 35 drivers. Okay. And we get the whole spectrum. Now, I myself have a jet set fleet, so my guys, even though they're from Florida, Alaska, Vermont, South Dakota, their park location is actually Green Bay, but we fly them to wherever the next truck is they're going to pick up.
Okay. And another question that I kind of great segue off of that is when do I get to meet my DBL? So say you're just finishing up orientation. How does that whole process work to get to meet you, face to face?
So my guy that just transferred from a different account that I just got Saturday, I actually got his first 2 loads that landed here in Green Bay because I wanted to meet him. Okay. If we can get you to a school, if you're at one of the major OCs, your schooling is usually done at that OC. So if you're a Green Bay driver, you'll come in here. If you're an experienced driver, 4 days later, you'll come and meet us. So you're face to face, or we'll try to work. Your DBL will talk to you on the phone, maybe for the first week, but then try to work you to wherever they are to talk to them.
Okay. And we actually just got a question in from Sean, and it says, how much experience do I need to get hired? Great question, Sean. So it really just depends on the account. Some accounts are that 3 months or greater, but a lot of our accounts are also for, zero experience. Yep. So definitely go to schneiderjobs.com, check out what's available in your area. You simply just put in your zip code, and then through that zip code, we can see what's available in your area. You also can filter by like solo work or teamwork, or certain endorsements that are needed, but definitely go to schneiderjobs.com and apply with us today. Also want to take this time to reintroduce ourselves for everybody that's just tuning in now live. I am April, and I'm in driver recruiting here at Schneider, and I have a special guest.
I am Jeff, and I'm a DBL, or driver business leader, here at Schneider.
Yeah, so we've been talking really all about the questions that you guys give to us as recruiters that are really more his line of work. So we have some great questions that are continuing to come in. Feel free to send those on through. Chris asked, what is the best route as a beginner driver with a Class A? So do you want to take that, any advice kind of for those beginning Class A drivers?
It all depends on what you want to do. If you want to go dedicated over the road, it's more deals with home time. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. So it is good to look online with your zip code and see which one of those filter out the best for you. If you've already been through the driver training school and you have your Class A, we can bring you here for the 3-week class, and we will have you up and running that 4th week already.
Awesome. Sounds good. As far as some other questions that I have for you here is, let's talk a little bit about the equipment that our trucks have. You know, I hear we have a lot of great new advances. Let's touch on that a little bit.
So we're just getting in the new 2000 P4s, which as a new hire you might not get into right away, but in 3 years you'll be into the new trucks that'll have an APU on them.
Cool.
So right away you might not have the conveniences of, for especially experienced drivers, we all like an APU on our truck with the fridge and the microwave. But within 3 years, 3 to 4 years, Schneider will be transitioned to all that. Right, you know, it's a process, but we are starting to get those trucks in now. So a lot of experienced hires, give us a little time. Come on in, and we can get you into that new truck that you want to have.
Very cool.
We have the lane departure system on it. We are about safety. We don't have the inward-facing cameras, but we do have forward-facing cameras. So if there's a critical event, we know what's happening and everything like that. So I know some guys are like, hey, what about that inward-facing camera? Schneider does not have that.
Okay, good to know. A little bit more about the iPads as well and the app that's on those. Can we talk a little bit about that?
We are getting away from the Qualcomm system and going to a tablet-based system. So eventually what we're hoping to do is paperless billing and things like that. It's not there yet. That's probably about 4 years down the road.
Okay.
But everything by December 17th will be transferred onto the tablet. So you'll be able to take it into the shipper. There's no more writing down, oh shoot, I forgot that load number. I gotta go back out to the truck. You'll have everything right there in your hand.
Very cool.
Yeah, a lot of guys like that.
Very convenient.
It's very upgradable. If anybody that's worked with a Qualcomm in the past, you kind of had what it is. There's no fixing it. There's no upgrading it. With a tablet, I was just over at corporate 2 weeks ago. They have a new weather app that's being made just for Schneider.
Wow.
And it showed fog. It showed all the weather things going on. And eventually they're going to have the traffic on there and everything. Wow. And so you'll be able to watch your ETA, or, oh man, I'm falling behind getting to my shipper. You'll actually be able to see the time that it's thinking. Things can change,
Sure.
But there's a lot of new technology, and we can really upgrade that as we go through.
Yeah. Had another question come in, and it was from Raymond. How do I transfer back to OTR from a local or short line position? So if you're transitioning to a different account, can you go into the process of how that all works?
Pretty easy. Talk to your DBL. Say, hey, I want to look at doing XYZ account, or going over the road. They should reach out. Depends on what division. If you're down by Gary, if you're by Carlisle, they should reach out to somebody in the over the road manager, and we'll work out a transfer process. It takes maybe, I don't say it's instantaneous. It's not going to be tomorrow. I want to transfer and it's tomorrow.
Sure.
But within a week and a half, I've had guys transfer that fast.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And kind of a question off of that, I have a lot of drivers that are always interested in owner-operator. So say they have their 1 year of experience with Schneider, they're ready to transition into that owner-operator field. What does that kind of look like?
As long as you're a safe driver and don't have any critical events, don't have any accidents, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
But that's why we want that, year long to see how you are, and it's more about safety, getting into the owner operator process than anything. That and the finance, but I don't usually get into the finance part. I just do the safety and how the driver is performing and things like that.
Okay. And we just had another question regarding our transition to automatic trucks. I know, we're switching to that whole automatic fleet. Let's talk about that a little bit and the benefits to the driver with switching to that automatic.
It is really funny because we have a driver here in GP account that's been manual. He's just got his 4 million miles safe the other night. So you can imagine I forget how many years he's been driving. He did not want that automatic.
Sure.
3 weeks later, he's going through Chicago, and he called in. He says, "Thank goodness I got that automatic. My leg feels so much better." I know on our Green Bay fleet, we're at about 82% autos.
Okay.
And they think by next June, except for some specialty accounts, we will be a complete auto fleet in
That
with
is
Schneider.
very cool. That is awesome. That that transition has just been huge.
It is, and it's you let the truck do its thing. They've actually, not that we're rolling this out or anything, have the lane departure, and they've actually tested. They had like 7 of those trucks that they tested where you got to hold your hands there, but it actually kind of, the self-driving cars. It's a ways away, but it's kind of really cool.
The future of what's happening.
Yes, it's really coming down the road someday.
Very neat. Another question that I get a lot is, how do I communicate with my DBL? Am I picking up the phone and having phone conversation? Is it via email? How is your typical communication with your drivers?
All depends on what the question is. Is it something I need to pick up number right now? Call in.
Right.
If it's something emergency. If it's, hey, I have a delivery 2 days from now, but I would like to deliver 4 hours early. You can send it a message. Why stop yourself and sit on hold?
Right.
Send me a message through the freeform process. But if it's something you need right now, or hey, I'm at the customer and they're refusing load, well, I don't want you sitting there for an hour before I see your message come out to you. But if it's something, hey, I want my next home time 2 weeks from now. Can you put it in?
Okay.
Yeah, so it all depends on the question.
Sure.
With our jet set drivers, we communicate a lot with email as far as setting their flight itineraries, when they're coming back, things like that. So there's 3 different ways. Picking up the phone's always probably the best.
Best way.
But if it's something that you don't want to wait around for, and it's in the message can wait, send that freeform message in.
Okay. Another question kind of off of that is, how accessible are you in a day? I'm sure you're on the phone a lot with all of your drivers. Can they typically, I know it depends on the day, but you're able to answer that phone pretty quickly or get back to them on a typical day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some divisions, have a little longer hold time.
Sure.
Support is for emergencies only. So from 6 at night till 7 in the morning for our division, you're working with the support people.
Okay.
Not going to be a fast. But on our team, I think we have, unless we're having a meeting or something really goes sideways, we're about 1.5 minute hold time.
Okay.
I think on our average.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. I know some places that the guy was talking to me. He's like, my last job, it was minimum 30-minute hold time every time I tried to get a hold of somebody. So, I admit that there's been a 5-minute, there's been a 12-minute,
Sure.
at that lunch hour or something where we're down. But we have you don't always just get your DBL. There's a team of, for us, we have 9 DBLs.
Okay.
We say, unless it's pay related or personal related, if you need a pickup number, talk to somebody else on the team. They can get it just as fast as I can.
Sure.
You don't have to hold and wait for me.
Right.
Talk to the team members, and the team members get to know everybody's drivers to a certain extent. So it's good that we have a team atmosphere to take care of you.
Awesome. That is fantastic to hear. Also want to take a second and reintroduce ourselves. We've been talking for a little while here. I'm April, and I'm in driver recruiting here at Schneider.
I'm Jeff, and I'm one of the DBLs here at Schneider, and I was also a former driver with Schneider.
Awesome. So bringing a lot of wealth of knowledge to the table today. Definitely see your questions coming on in. Continue to message us, ask questions. We love to hear from you guys. So another question that it looks like I got here is from Kent. And it's asking about, home time, coordinating that with your DBL. You want to touch on that a little bit and how that process works?
So there's a message on the Qualcomm that you'll send in when you want your home time.
Okay.
And then the DBL will see that come in, and then he will process it. Now, if you're on certain accounts, they have an automated home time.
Okay.
And it automatically goes in.
Right.
You're kind of pre-planned. Now, one of the things I like to tell drivers is it's days home, not nights home. So sometimes don't make plans that night. You're thinking, hey, I'm done Friday night. It could be 6 o'clock Saturday morning because you get Saturday, Sunday off. You're starting Monday.
Sure.
I would say we're probably at 98% home Friday night.
Okay.
But that once or twice or 4 times a year, depending on the account, it might just you break down, weather. There's things that happen, and I like to let guys know that ahead of time.
Sure. Got another question here. It looks like from Richard, and it says, is 65 too late to get into trucking?
I think our oldest driver is 82 or 86 right now.
Wow. Okay.
As
so
long
the
as
answer
you're good,
is no.
no. As long as you can pass your DOT physical, we have some flex drivers that are older. I have, like I say, the driver that's 80 plus, I should say. He stays out like 25 days at a time.
Wow.
He's an old time trucker, and that's what he's used to. And he says, I'm going to keep driving until I can't pass the physical anymore. He loves it. Now, he likes seeing the sights, and that's what's for him.
Yeah, very cool. Have a lot of great questions coming in here. Another one from Jim. Do you still have flatbed? Yes, we do have flatbed accounts, certainly within certain areas. So my recommendation, go to schneiderjobs.com, put in that current zip code, and you can certainly see what's available in your area. We do have them. They're just not necessarily, something that we have all over the United States, but definitely check. Another question that I have right here, and what advice, since you drove yourself, do you give to drivers that are thinking about coming back to Schneider? Say they drove for us for a while, whatever reason, they went to a different company, did something different, and now they're thinking about coming back. What kind of conversation or advice would you give to that driver about considering it?
The reason they're coming back is I think everybody knows the grass for a truck driver, if you're experienced, grass is always greener on the other side. I myself, I've probably worked at 4 different companies. I was so glad when I finally came to Schneider, not toot my horn because that's where I'm landed, but they really took care of me. I worked from all the spectrums, and one of the companies, they were like 3 weeks behind on pay. Wow. And I'm like, hey, I need my paycheck. With Schneider, you're not going to worry, is my paycheck there, right?
Right, sure.
Our miles, we're a big enough company that we're never going to run out of miles. You're never going to. I worked for a small mom and pop's place, sat 4 days down in Florida because they couldn't be bothered over the weekend to find loads. They're like, yeah, call us Monday and we'll see if we have a load for you. Wow. You don't have to worry about that with Schneider. You might hit an area where it's slow, but you're not going to be sitting 4 days. You might be sitting 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's going to be something out there. We have a group of people over at corporate that are getting those loads for us. It's not like you got one person trying to find loads for everybody. There's many people that support. I think it's like I want to say for every 5 drivers there's like one support person at Schneider, which is a really good ratio for sure. So I didn't know that fact until like 2 weeks ago. We were talking about it and like, wow, you got really a lot of people back here trying to help out. So.
Yeah. Another question coming into is what type of a relationship, I know every DBL is going to be different with this, but what kind of a relationship do you like to say that you have with your drivers? Can you describe, you're talking to some of these guys on a regular basis, so I'm sure you get pretty chummy. What is that relationship
I was going to say, I probably get a little more chummy with my drivers than I should. Okay. I like to keep it real. Okay. I'm not going to, for me, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you how it is because when I was a driver, hey, if it's bad news, tell me. Geez, I'm going to have to wait 4 hours for my next load. We can't get a new appointment. I'd rather know that up front than, well, we'll see, and then I blow you off for 4 hours. I'm going to tell you how it is right up front. Okay. And I have send out birthday cards to my drivers and things like that. I have 2 of my drivers that just call in every day. Hey, I hope you have a great day. I'm at the delivery. Goodbye.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, have a great day. It's really good. I really like my drivers, and I guess because I have that experience behind, I know how hard it is out there, and I feel that frustration. And when a guy's like, oh man, it's like, hey, this is what I did to relieve this stress, or here's how I handled that situation. So and then with the team, everybody from the team brings something to the team. So Patty and myself on our team, we're both former drivers. So when it comes to that, hey, how do I set the tandems in my trailer, or how do I get my weights right? We're there for that. If I need help with the computers or anything, I can go to another team member. So it's nice that we have a team that's well-rounded, and there's always somebody. If I don't have the answer, I know who to go to get the answer. And that's another thing I tell my drivers. I might not have the answer right away, but we will find it out for you and get you that answer.
Okay, very cool. Another question that I have that's probably a little bit more personal, but I do have people that ask me all the time, like, hey, down the road when I'm done driving, if I want to be a DBL or I want to be a TE, how does that transition work? You want to touch on that a little bit?
Let your manager know. That's how I did. I said to my manager, I'm getting burnt out. I don't want to leave the company. Do you have any suggestions what I could do? I want to stay working here, but I can't keep running the way I'm running. I got to do something different. And she said, hey, we have this position opened up. We're always looking for TEs. So anybody that wants to come on, worked at 4 months, 5 months safe. In fact, I have one of my drivers up here this week that's becoming a TE.
Oh, wow.
So,
very cool.
He's like 64, so he's got about 46 years experience, I think he said.
Okay.
And now he wants to give back, right? He had somebody help him out when he was younger, and now he's like, hey, this is a good time for me to give back and help the next new guy.
Very cool. Very cool.
So
Sorry. I was
going to say, that is one thing, I talk to a lot of people, even at corporate. There's planners that have been drivers. There's support shift at night that have been drivers. They will help you work your way up in the company. I mean, you could become a customer service person if you really like working with people. Just work, just work with your DBL, and we'll see if we can have you do a sit-in. We can get you to talk to somebody, but we're there to help you out. We'd love bringing people from the ground up. Because you're supporting, what it's like, you've been there.
Right, you understand.
And you understand the customers, it makes a big difference. It really helps everybody else down the road. So,
right. I just had another question come in a little while ago, and it looks like it was from Rich, and it says, how much does it cost to get my Class A CDL? Great question. Really depends on the school that you go to. There's programs that vary in length. An automatic program versus a manual program certainly is going to make a difference on that overall cost. Definitely, if you're considering getting that Class A CDL, we do have a tuition reimbursement program here at Schneider. So 30 days after your date of hire, we start to reimburse you back for that tuition. So definitely keep that in mind if you are interested in getting that Class A. We also have some other programs here at Schneider as well for helping individuals that don't have the Class A. So, definitely go to schneiderjobs.com and be able to look at, the opportunities that we have. Also, if you have any questions or you're thinking of putting in an application or you put one in, definitely call 800-44-PRIDE. We have recruiters waiting for you on the spot. Interviews are available. So definitely feel free to give us a call. I am an actual recruiter here at Schneider, so you might actually talk to me. Give us a call. And that's what we have 90 recruiters right now waiting for your call. So definitely feel free to give us a call. That's what we're here for, and answer all those great questions. So definitely want to see what else we have coming up here.
And if you have that odd question, they will come down and ask me the
very
answer
true.
for it.
Many times I've had to reach out to operations and say, hey, what's the specifics on this route?
Exactly.
Or, can we work this in? Going off of that, great question I get a lot I have a planned family vacation and I, don't have any vacation yet because I just started maybe a month or two ago. Can you go through that process, how that all works?
It really works nice is when you're in class, talk to your DBL.
Okay.
And we'll set it up because you have a cruise that you paid for, but you want to start working for Schneider. But it's like, well, do I wait till after my cruise or I start now? Come into us now, and we will work. If you have a pre-planned vacation, we will work with you. Maybe we do have to say, okay, we'll start after, but give us that phone call. We can work that out.
Right.
Yeah, we do it all. We do it all the time. I have guys that come in, and especially the new hires, you didn't know how soon you were to get your CDL or anything.
Right.
We'll work around it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question that I get a lot, this is probably from more newer drivers, but it's one, hey, I'm doing an over-the-road position now to kind of get my feet wet, but eventually I'd love a home daily. And we all know that those home dailies go very, very quickly. They're not, as abundant as an over-the-road position.
Right.
I always recommend to tell them to tell the DBL about it so that it's on your radar, that once that 6-month commitment is up, if something's open, that you guys know about it.
Right.
Any other advice, if that's their long-term goal, to maybe get that home daily or home multiple times per week?
Well, we don't have, at least in the over-the-road position, we don't have a lot of home daily.
Right.
So what I don't see a lot of that from my perspective, but maybe if you're at one of the bigger OCs like Gary, Dallas, intermodal might be something you're interested in because a lot of the intermodal is home daily. But yes, work with your DBL. If there's something in your area, we can get you worked out. So we usually ask if once you hire for over the road, we want to see about 6 months before we start talking about the transfer or anything.
Okay, sounds good.
6 months is always the kind of that over the top things.
Okay. Another question, because you have drove before, I know we touched on it a little bit, but if you're talking to a experienced, even inexperienced driver, what do you feel sets Schneider apart?
our training. We really, even after you come through school, you're not sure about something. Tell your DBL, hey, I'd like, I'm struggling with this. Man, we'd love to bring you in. We'll put as much expense into you as we can to get you where you want to be. We're here to give you a great career and help you with, whatever you want to do. Talk to your DBL. We were talking earlier, communicate. Communication is the best thing. Like I said, if your DBL doesn't have the answer, they can find out.
Okay. Yeah. And, kind of going off of that training, for our experienced drivers, it's only a 4-day orientation for van truckload.
Yep.
So, it's paid at that $80 per day. We cover your hotel stay. We try to help with transportation depending how far away you are from home. Most of your meals are covered. So we try to make it as financially painless as possible for our drivers. Get through that orientation, 4 days, get you in, get you out, and then get you driving behind the truck.
Yep.
So
I have guys that start on Monday with the experienced driver. Starts on Monday. By Friday or Saturday morning, he can be driving already.
Yeah, so very, very quick for sure. I'm just checking to see if there's any other questions coming in here. Had some really great ones from you guys. Is there anything you want to add while I'm kind of cruising through here to see if there's any other questions?
Like I say, I think Schneider's a great place. I drove for 4 other companies. I drove everywhere from bed bugging when I first started, which is household moving. I did intermodal. I did reefer. I did swinging meat, which a lot of people will never see anymore. And then I came to Schneider. I did a dedicated position with the GP account. Loved it. I ran a little hard, but it was a really good experience for me. And like I say, when I needed a change in my career, my DBL was there for me. She, I actually got her home phone number. She helped me with the interview process, so that way when I went into my interview, I was more prepared for what was going on. My DBL was really there for me when I wanted a career change, but also staying with Schneider.
Sure. Very cool. Have another one that came in asking about refresher courses. It looks like it was from Russell. Great question. So we currently do not have a refresher course. We did in the past where there was a contract that was involved. We decided no longer to do that. So if you've been out of the truck for a while, you feel you really need that refresher course to feel safe on the road, what you will have to do is just simply mention that to your recruiter during the interview process. We can then mark your application so that training knows, hey, this driver's been out of the truck for a little while, maybe he needs a little extra help on backing or some of the maneuvering. It's no additional cost to you. You may stay in orientation, maybe a day or 2 extra, sometimes not even, at all extra. It really just depends on that situation. But definitely do not be discouraged if you haven't been in the truck in a while. We will help you with that training process.
I've had a few drivers that came through for the experienced class. They weren't where, like you say, they wanted to be. They went back through on the 3-week class. And I think of Joe, and I hope Joe's not watching, or he can. He's one of my best drivers now. He needed that little bit of refresher. We worked with him and kept him on, and now he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So we'll find a way to help you out.
Okay, perfect. That is great to hear. One of the other comments too is that, how much do recruiters who have never been in a truck before, how much do we really know about driving, about trucking? How do we know everything that we know? Just want to throw out there, we are actually in training for a month-long training process before we start talking to drivers on the phone. And one of the biggest things for me, as well as for many of my other recruiters, is we actually have a mandatory ride-along that we get to spend a full day of like 14 hours sometimes, depending if you get stuck somewhere, on the road with a driver. And I will say it has been one of the most eye-opening experiences that I've had since I started working here. I truly understand what you guys do on a day-to-day basis, all of the hang-ups that can come along. It's not driving your normal car, driving for 8 hours like an office job and then going home. There is so much more to this way of life, to the way the business is structured, and I give great respect for everyone that does it, because I know I personally could not do it. But I just want everybody out there that listens to our videos all the time know we do have that knowledge behind us, from doing that, and we do understand what you guys do.
And Schneider as a whole has a class that I think everybody has to take now. It's called the Driver Experience. It's a long class.
Yes.
It's not only the ride along, but they also go out and look at what a pre-trip inspection is. So the guys are like, well, no, you don't know what my pre-trip inspection is. Yes, even people over that are in customer service and stuff, they know what you're going through.
Exactly.
So Schneider's all around. They want everyone in the company to know how hard the truck driver has to work.
Definitely.
I tell drivers, driving is probably the easiest part of your job. It's the technology. It's dealing with the customer. It's dealing with the other drivers around you. I mean, that's maybe you might consider that part of the driving, but you can handle your truck very well.
Right.
It's I'm getting cut off or somebody's
weather.
Weather
The
exactly.
winter
This was a bad winter. We've had days where drivers are shut down for a day at a time. But it's definitely a struggle. I guess I have that feel for the driver. I've been there, done that. It's like it's not an easy job.
Right.
Otherwise, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah, for sure. One other question came in regarding sign-on bonuses. Great question. Really just depends on the account that you hire onto. Sign-on bonuses can go up, can go down. So definitely when you're looking at accounts, see what that sign-on bonus is. It does differ for some accounts on the experience level. So an inexperienced driver versus an experienced driver. But great question to look at SchneiderJobs.com, and as well as asking additional details in your interview, because we certainly can give that extra information to you as well.
Do we still have our referral bonus?
We do.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you refer another driver, there's a bonus that if they stay on, I think it's 3 months, 6 months in a year.
Yes.
I think so. That there's a bonus that you can get for all your friends that have.
Just refer. If you're hired
another driver
on and you're referring another driver and they hire on as well, definitely have that. Another way to add to that take-home pay for sure.
Exactly.
So definitely an easy way when you're in a truck stop talking to somebody else. Hey, I'm at Schneider. I love it.
He's got the cards. He's handing out cards at the truck stop. So if you need him, that's him.
Well, it looks like everything that we have coming in here, we pretty much answered. I want to thank you so much for your time today and
anytime.
all of the knowledge that you brought to the table. If you guys have additional questions, comments, I do see some additional comments, I should say, coming in here. Feel free, even after the video is done, to keep on adding those comments. And, stay tuned. We'll definitely have another video coming your way shortly. Make sure to give us a call at 800-44-PRIDE if you're interested in applying, and definitely go to SchneiderJobs.com. We have many recruiters waiting for you to give us a call and get that interview in today. And thank you so much once again.
Thanks.